Hello everyone, and welcome back to the English Fix, your go-to podcast for practical English for real-life conversations. I'm Fiz Hal, and joining me today is the always insightful Sarah.
Hi Fiz Hal, and hi everyone. Excited to dive into today's topic.
Sarah, last time we talked about weather and hobbies for small talk. Today, we're moving on to something that comes up very often, work and career. Why is this such a common small talk topic?
It's a natural progression, isn't it? After you've established a basic connection, people often want to understand what you do or how you spend your time professionally. It helps them build a picture of who you are and find common ground.
That makes sense. So, what's the most common way to start a small talk conversation about work?
The classic question is, what do you do? It's simple, direct, and universally understood. You might also hear, what do you do for a living, which means the same thing.
What do you do for a living? Good to know that variation. Now, if someone asks you, what do you do? How should an English learner respond effectively?
You want to give a clear, concise answer, but also leave room for follow-up questions. So, instead of just saying I'm a teacher, you could say, I'm a teacher. I teach English to international students. Or, I work in marketing. I help companies promote their products.
That's really helpful. Giving a little extra detail invites the other person to ask more. What if someone asks you about your job, but you're currently between jobs or looking for a new one? How can you handle that gracefully in English small talk?
That's a great point, Fiz Hal, and it can feel awkward. You can say something like, I'm currently looking for new opportunities in your field. Or, I'm exploring options in, e.g., tech. You can also add, I'm really excited about what's next. It keeps the conversation positive and open.
Excellent advice for a potentially tricky situation. So, after you answer what do you do, what are some good follow-up questions you can ask the other person about their work?
Good follow-up questions are crucial to keep the conversation flowing. You could ask, oh, that sounds interesting. What does a typical day look like for you? What do you enjoy most about your job? How did you get into that field? If it's a field you know nothing about, could you tell me a bit more about what that involves?
Those are fantastic. They show genuine interest. What should learners avoid when making small talk about work?
Definitely avoid getting too detailed about your salary or complaining extensively about your boss or company. Keep it light and positive. Also, try not to dominate the conversation. Remember to ask the other person about their work too.
Great tips, Sarah. So, to recap for our listeners, when making small talk about work, start with what do you do? Give a clear but brief answer with a little extra detail, and be prepared with some follow-up questions like, what do you enjoy most about your job?
Exactly. The goal isn't to get hired, it's to make a friendly connection. And remember, it's okay if you're not an expert on every job. Asking genuine questions is what matters.
That's all for this episode of the English Fix. You can find all the phrases and tips from today's discussion in our show notes. Join us next week as we tackle another common small talk situation, talking about current events.
Keep practicing your English, and we'll talk to you soon.
Like and subscribe.